and throw it at them, well, then you got them beat and left in the dust. It's not a problem at all. But just being in general, going into a general public place and saying, hey, you know, I'm here advocating for medical marijuana. I have signature forms that need to get signed today. People will sign them. They will. You know, look at you folks today. You know, how many people here signed the form? Just out of curiosity. So a fair amount of you. I mean, that's a fair amount. So that's very, very good. You know, that's what we find everywhere we go. You know, 80% of the people will sign the form for us. We have 80% here. 20% maybe didn't sign the form for one way, shape, or form. But they're obviously supporters, and you know, hopefully they're going to call their own legislator or do their own thing, and they're not just freaked out about putting their name on a piece of paper. Because some people are about that. And those people who are freaked out about putting their name on a piece of paper probably aren't going to be the ones who call and follow up and do those things anyway. But that's okay. You know, it's not for everybody. What we have to do is we have to approach this like a almost like a salesmanship, you know, that it's truly numbers. We have the numbers on our sign. Public opinion polls show the public supports this. Industrial hemp is high, you know. Medical marijuana, upwards 70–80%. Totally legalizing it outright, last poll was like 46%, margin of error 5%. So I mean, we're right in there already, you know. Prop 19 barely failed, you know, that if the lazy stoners would have went out and vote, and some of the lazy stoners did go out and vote because they didn't want their pot taxed, you know, so you have a counterculture in states where there are marijuana laws saying, I don't want any more regression, I'm a medical patient, it's just fine the way it is, you know, so we have to remember that. Each state is different, that's what makes our union truly unique. We need to take care of home first. We're not California. I don't really care what California does, whether it has a model law or doesn't have a model law, because California doesn't mean anything to me. It doesn't mean anything to my friends and family here in Wisconsin. Wisconsin is known for things. Wisconsin is known for high taxes. Wisconsin is known for high regulations. Wisconsin is known for high police state. Those are the three key ingredients that are needed in marijuana reform. Those are the three key ingredients, and we do them better than anybody any day of the week. You know, Wisconsin is ripe for marijuana reform. Our politicians are just ripe with something. Stink. So it's that constant, you know, constant vigilance with them. Get them with everything, you know. There's a study every single day that comes out. There's a news report that comes out every single day. Send it to them. Call them. Did you get that report I emailed you? You know, how come you haven't taken a public stand on this? I've been searching the internet in your name plus marijuana, and I can't see that you've taken a stance one way or for or against it. I want to know because that's what I'm basing my vote on. You know, that when we start doing that type of stuff, they're going to listen. You know, when we start saying, I was talking this morning that I have a family over in my area that supports my Republican senator. We're in a recall election right now, and we were talking about things, and I asked him, I'm like, how many of your family members do you think actively contributes to his campaign? And we're going through it, he's like 50, you know, easily 50 we counted, you know. And they all pretty much support medical marijuana. Actually, one of the reasons I got into the activism side of it is their family had an autistic daughter who they had to institutionalize because the meds weren't working. It wasn't working, you know. Her autism was too severe. I have a friend out in California who their children were going through the same things at the same time. One is now institutionalized, the other is using medical cannabis and is not institutionalized. You know, there's a night and day difference here between these two outcomes of these two children who have the exact same ailments. So the point of my story is we're talking to these people, how do we get Luther Olson, my senator, to support marijuana? And obviously it's not through anything that we've done up to this point. So my family members, they had said, well, I think the only way you're going to do it is withhold money from them. You know, if we can get these 50 people, which we know are benefactors, the family does give money to the campaign. If we can get these 50 people to take action and call Luther and tell him they're not contributing anymore, specifically because he's not supporting the marijuana issue, those are things that are going to be remembered. Now, can we all do that? No. You know, I'm not asking you all to do that. It takes legwork, a lot of years to do that, to build those types of relationships. But somebody we know, we're just that close away, somebody we know has that type of influence with our legislators, whether it's our accountant, our attorney, our doctor, our social worker, our principal of our school, you know, whatever, that hit them all always. So we have about a half hour left. There's a couple